Good morning. I've definitely slept better. I am on the way to the privy to change right now, and we are trying to figure out what we're doing today because the firefighter said that they're not fighting the fire last night, which means, oh, the sky is pretty, which means that today they'll probably be fighting it and it will still be closed. So it is about 6:20ish. Last night was interesting. I ended up staying in the shelter because we weren't sure if we were going to have to be evacuated in the middle of the night, and I didn't want to have my tent out. And because of that, there was a symphony of sounds coming from all directions, including birds and snorers and just a lot of different things. And just waking up in a panic because of stress. Yesterday, I kind of had a mental breakdown. First, it started with the fire and having to walk back an extra 2.5 miles, maybe a little bit more, to a shelter that is very far down a hill. And then after that was figuring out plans. And then was when I found a campsite, and because mine was a little bit bigger than the one that Soap found, I gave him my spot, which is totally fine. But then I couldn't put my tent stakes in the ground because there was just rocks all underneath me. So I stressed out and freaked out, and people were asking me questions. And then I couldn't decide if I wanted to stay in the shelter or tent or what was going on, and I freaked out, and so then I accidentally took it out on Soap, and I apologized to him, but he was a trooper and he was trying to help me find a new camp spot. I dragged my tent up the hill with me trying to find a tent spot. It was super dramatic. So I stopped and said, I'm getting water, because I was also super dehydrated. So I went down by myself, got some water, refreshed a little bit, came back up. Soap said, don't put up your tent, we're making plans, on the way back up from the water source. So then I ran up to Sass and I was like, I need you. And she's like in a fetal position. So we were all having a rough day. There was 2 ladies in the shelter who are getting a shuttle at the gap that's back behind us. So we have to hike 3.4 miles backwards. So down the hill past the 300-year-old tree, which is kind of cool that I get to see it again, to that gap. They're getting picked up from Four Pines Hostel and taken to the hostel so they can continue to do the Triple Crown. We woke up this morning and Sass said that's not what she wants to do because it's only to the next gap. The fire only cuts off about 5.5 miles. So we are trying to call our shuttle from Blacksburg to see if he will pick us up and take us to the next mile marker. And then we will decide later if we go back to do those miles, we slack pack them or whatever. And the sad thing is we can't just slack the 5 miles. We'd have to slack about 11 miles and redo over 5 miles that we've already done. And we've also are doing an extra 5 miles, 3 from today and then 2 from last night, plus maybe a little extra. So this has definitely put us in a situation. Our footprint is being cut off a little bit from Georgia to Maine, which is what I'm mostly worried about, which is why I don't care if I do like the Virginia Creeper Trail or anything like that, but mentally at the end of this, I'm going to be like, I didn't do those 5 miles. So we're going to revisit that at a different time, see if we can get shuttled back down, but at this point, I don't really know what's happening. I'm still in a little bit of a stress bubble, but I think we'll get it figured out soon.
Mr. 6,000 or something?
Yeah. He wasn't very confident when he told us his trail name.
Yeah.
Very rarely see one bright spot. They're looking at you, she said, what is that?
The Pickardin. Pickardin. Whatever this is. I know.
All right, so the Sassafras ended up getting in contact with Rockslide, who was our shuttle driver yesterday, and we asked him to pick us up at 621, where the fire closure was, which means we would have had to hike 3 miles backwards.
So that guy lived in that cabin up there.
But when she texted Rockslide, he said, "What about the Starver Hollow Trail?" And he actually is right here. You hiked up to save us. So anyway, so he's picking us up. It was a little iffy for a second because we weren't sure if the road was closed. Turns out it's not, and he hiked up to us.
I had tons of snacks.
Okay, good.
He said we're good. We shouldn't feel bad about missing the 5 miles.
Thanks, guys.
Is that too much?
So this is the river we will be forging. I think we're gonna try and cross over there, but I also feel like we could cross here. Thankfully, Bennett, or Rockslide, came to our rescue. I'm gonna be inserting his number here, right here. So call them if you need a ride if you're in this area. Let's cross a river. How are you feeling about this?
I'm nervous about going up before you. I think I'll wait until you've gone. Yeah, she didn't.
Do you still think this is a good idea?
What are you gonna do with that, Sass?
I'm gonna use it. Oh God!
Don't fall in, whatever happens.
This is a big jump though, right here. Let me find a little more. No. You have to stay there and hold that though.
I think you gotta go to this.
Yeah, give me that other one.
Oh,
Give me
okay.
that other.
Okay.
I'll put it here so you can get it.
I got it. I got it.
I don't got it.
Don't go.
Goodbye.
Hey, forever.
Have a great time.
Let's go.
Did your foot go in? Sass, you got this. I believe in you. You can kind of see the fire right there. There's so many of them. Then there's this guy on the side. Down here. And then, oh my gosh, I'm out of breath. This guy right there. A whole family of them. I don't know who put this mountain here, but I'm glad that they put a bench here for sitting after that horrible climb. So this is kind of cool. This leads up to the Audie Murphy monument. I heard from Lumberjack that Audie was a kick-ass pilot in the military and crashed his plane up here. So we've got a bunch of American flags going up to the top and the memorial up there. Looks like they've left a lot of stuff all over. It's insane. Look at tiny military man. A few dog tags. Lots of American flags. A bunch of hats. That's crazy. This makes me think of my cousin Brett. and how he kind of the same thing happened to him. Just a day of sadness, unfortunately. The classic lunch, except I added tomatoes.
Sweet.
So that was where we were. And there's soap running away from me. Thank you for the soda. Oh, wow.
Right down the top, I grabbed him right.
All right, 1.2 to Pickle Branch Shelter. Oh, man. Let's do it. Oh, that is so funny.
Maybe you don't know the full story. Maybe somebody was like, I hate bearings, and they just threw it up there.
Yeah.
Maybe. Such a weird place for your bearing. Okay, there is the shelter. But we were told that down here by the water is the best camping spot. So we're gonna go down this very interesting, treacherous climb and camp by the water today. And it's only about 3:40, so we have pretty much the rest of the night to just relax and make dinner and hang out in the river. Okay, so today was kind of a rough day. After the creek crossing, I got a text from my mom. Service came in, and a message from her came in saying, call me when you get a second. And I like instantly knew something was wrong. So when I called her, she told me that our family dog passed away. It happened suddenly, and in one moment he was fine, and he must have ate something, had an allergic reaction, and then was just gone. It was really hard for me to hear, especially since I had been stressing about the fire, and that is just so minimal compared to what my family had been going through in the moment. And I had no service last night to know that that was happening, and I wish that I could be there and be there with them and for them. I feel guilt being out here because of it, and it's been bringing me down a little bit, and I had enough time to pull myself together. I got a group hug from the tramily. I'm very grateful to have Soap and Sassafras and Blessings and Lumberjack with me, especially during this difficult time and being so far away from home. It's moments like this that like really put things into perspective and make me feel guilty for being out here, even though I know it was a good decision to come out here. But it doesn't make it any easier, and the fact that like it happened so sudden, like it doesn't even feel real. And because I'm out here, I feel so distant from it, and I wish I can be there for my mom and my sisters right now. And I thought I was okay. I started hiking, and then I just started thinking about everything, all the pain that I'm in with both my knees, my backpack strap not fitting, potential nerve damage on my hips, and all the stuff that's going on with my dog, and then now this. And I was also going up a hill, so I started hyperventilating, and I was freaking out. So that was really hard, and that made me think that I'm stupid for coming out here. And then I snapped back into, no, I need to be out here. Like, there's a reason I'm out here. There's a goal for being out here, and I need to remember that. And everyone understands, hopefully. It's not easy. It's a lot of hard work, and I'm slowly breaking apart at every ankle. Could potentially be Virginia blues, or it could just be lack of enjoyment for what I'm doing. So I need to figure out what to do to change this. It's good that we're going through the Triple Crown within the next few days. That might help. But if you can just keep me and my family in mind, send your best wishes. It's never a good time to lose a pet, but not even a pet, like a family member. Especially when it's suddenly. It just doesn't feel real. It really doesn't. I felt guilt for being out here. I already said that, but I also felt guilt for seeing like how green it is out here, and I didn't feel like I deserved all the life I was seeing out here because of what happened. Yeah, it's just not fair, and life isn't fair sometimes. And it's really hard, and I wish I had my family here with me, and I wish I was with them. But yeah, I'm very lucky for my family. That's all I have to say. I'm definitely going to miss him. The way that anytime you walk in the door, he runs to you with a toy. The scratches on your arm when he wants to be pet. How he weirdly can't be held because he just goes stiff. The times that we would put his paws up on the table and pretend that he was sitting on our laps while we eat or while we play games. Yeah, just gotta think about the good things. Sad. It's important to remember that life doesn't stop in the real world, even though this feels like a completely different world out here. Each is filled with its own challenges and stressors, and like I've said in earlier videos, you just have to learn how to adapt to your new situation. I wish time stopped back home so I can do this and feel fine with my decisions, but sometimes that's hard to look past. And sometimes it's okay to be a little selfish and do stuff for yourself, especially if it's personal growth. But it's not easy. It's really not. But I'm gonna keep going, and I'm strong, and I need to do this for me. But it does hurt me deeply to see my friends and family hurting back home, and because I'm so far, I can't really do much to be there for them or help them out. So That's very, it's just rough. It's very difficult. I can't really explain it.
You guys empty your trash?
Uh-huh. Empty trash and got a cold soda. Like, pretty much the perfect, like, gap spot.
I just have to let everyone know that Sass is doing an amazing job with the fire. She's beautiful.
You guys know that in Britain, a potato that's baked is a jacket potato, but if it's a sweet potato and it's baked, it's not a jacket, it's sweet potato.
Which is confusing because they both have jackets.
They both have jackets.
And you can bake both of them.
So when we say that we're better than the Brits,
You know why?
We started doing this thing called high-low buffalo, and it's something that Sass and her friends do, and it's been really nice. It helps keep the tramily a little bit closer. So you say your high of the day, your low of the day, and then your buffalo can be anything, whether it's high, low, weird, whatever you want it to be. It's kind of like a little extra bonus thing. But I like to hear how everyone feels at the end of the day and if it compares to what I say. But I hope everyone had a really nice day, and I need you to squeeze your family members and all your pets a little extra for me today, because I really need it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Good night. Sponsored by